It's green for go. They're racing.
He says go.
He says ta-da.
And Tiger Tara roars away from them on the home turn.
Here comes another big boil over.
Equine athleticism at its best. The king is in the castle once more.
This is in one race. The rest are almost in another postcode.
She is a star with a capital S. It's going to be a triple treat, a miracle three-peat. Ladies and gentlemen, you have witnessed history here at Menangle. What about that?
It's getting right up on the sprint lane and it's going to bolt in.
Hello and welcome back to today's episode of the Menangle Angle. My name's Jessica Watkins and joining me is Club Menangle's General Manager for Racing, David Wonson. Wano, how are you on this beautiful Menangle Thursday?
Yeah, how good's the weather been the last few days? Amazing, isn't it? Considering we were flooding and the bridge was about to go under last week. Fantastic weather. It's supposed to hang around for the weekend, so I'm sure they're going to be running some times again. How fast have the times been, Jess? Like on
Incredible.
Monday, we're going, the 2-year-olds were going 150s. Australian records, amazing.
It was incredible day out. Of course, 2 heats of the New South Wales Breeders' Challenge for the 2-year-olds were won by the Hewitt family, each of them. David and Brad combined with Sparkling C in the fillies division. And then Hollywood Strip, as you just mentioned there, equalled that record set by Fader Waits last year in the Breeders' Challenge final when he went 150 flat here. So an incredible effort by Brad's 2-year-old there.
They dominated last night too.
They sure
Sam
did.
got a couple and David had one, trained one, Brad drove one of them.
Yep.
Yeah, just an amazing night. They're 2-year-olds this season. Just imagine the track work down there. All them 2-year-olds just
Down
running
there
those
at
times.
Goulburn.
Wow. Yeah, sensational start for them.
It was, and this Saturday night's card features the 2 Carousel finals, of course, the final for the Pacers, which is a listed classic, and then also the Trotters final. And I know it's a series that you love seeing here at Club Menangle because it holds such a rich history here in our harness racing in New South Wales.
Yeah, so many good horses have come through this series that have gone on and been, I suppose, legends of our sport, and the reinsmen that are involved. I know it's changed a lot over the years. As a kid, you'd go to Fairfield for heats, or you'd come here at Menangle at the old track for heats, or Bankstown. And I think even Parramatta was involved in the first series. Fantastic series. There used to be a carousel ball.
Wow.
Yeah, during the week they had the carousel ball and all the reinsmen and participants would dress up in their suits and their finery and go to the carousel ball. But it is a race steeped in tradition, and this year's going to be no different. There's some really nice horses coming through.
There certainly is, and of course Cameron Hart's Magic 6 winners here last Saturday night. We'll touch on that a little bit later on in the show, but we do have an action-packed lineup of guests set to join us today. It's the Joe Show actually, because we're going to be catching up with not only Joe Conolly, who has 2 horses engaged in race 2 on Saturday night, but we're also going to be speaking to Joe Rando as well, who has 2 horses in the Carousel final for the Trotters there. So plenty to get through. Let's get stuck straight into it. Well, joining us on today's edition of the Menangle Angle is Joe Conolly, who has 2 horses engaged in race 2 this Saturday night. Joe, how are you today?
Yeah, good, Jess. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. It's good to have you on the Menangle Angle, and I know you've been busy this morning with your hobble trips. How many horses do you have in the team at the moment?
I've got 7 in work at the moment, so full house for me. It's about probably as many as I could handle while I'm still working, so certainly plenty to keep me busy. It's nice to have a couple of racing on a weekend again.
It's good to have you back here at Club Menangle, and you're based out there in the Hawkesbury region. And for those listeners who aren't familiar with Sydney, Hawkesbury's located about an hour away from Menangle and probably about 20 minutes from the Penrith track out there. Tell us about your training setup.
Yeah, so I've just got a small block out here at Castlereagh, just on the north side of Penrith. I've got just enough space to have my yards and shelters set up, and then just so I keep the team here. I can work them, do their daily jog trips, their maintenance here, and then fast work we float out over to the mile track out at Hawkesbury and do all our work over there.
So floating out there to the Hawkesbury track and a nice little setup at home there. And if we were to wind back the clock and talk about your involvement in the sport of harness racing, how were you first introduced to the game?
So I came in through one of our local trainers out here, Wayne Dimmick. Met him through a family connection, and he introduced me to the horses and soon had me hooked, and, sort of just started tagging along with the races with him. And, he was patient enough with me to sort of teach me a few things around the stables and got me started with, the basics of driving and training horses. And, once you're in, and, he helped me sort of get set up and establish myself, and everything I've got really goes back to Wayne.
You've now got a team of 7 horses, as you mentioned, in work, but you also work full-time. Tell us how you juggle those working commitments with the horses.
Look, it's a bit of a balance. Thankfully, I'm only 20 minutes from work, so, it can mean early mornings for me just to get the horses done before I head into the office each day. So I'm often up at sort of 4 a.m, go outside and get my jog trips done, get the horses fed and put away again before I head off into the office. So, it's along the day during the week, and then I'll always try and have a day off somewhere in the middle of the week to get my whole trips done. And thankfully works pretty flexible with that. They allow me to tinker with the roster as needed. And it's just about keeping work happy, but getting enough work into the horses to keep them fit as well.
A name that we regularly see in our form guides here in the Sydney metropolitan region is Seed and Grimers, and you and Seedon have a long association together. You were a mentor very early on in his career. How did that association with Seedon come about?
Yeah, so Seedon was I didn't really know Seedon. He was sort of a friend of a friend, and I'd seen him around at Penrith when he was in the mini trots. Hadn't had a lot to do with him. That was before I'd sort of become involved in the minis myself. And Seedon got to that age where he was approaching the stage where he could get his trial licence, but he needed just a supervisor or a mentor, just someone who could, sign up and say they were willing to look over him and teach him the ropes. So he sort of didn't have too many contacts with the industry at that stage, and he approached me and asked me if he could sort of tag along with me and just start to learn a few things. And, we sort of developed a friendship as much as a working relationship as well. And, it's just grown from there, and we've sort of stuck together and kept doing things together ever since.
Nowadays as well, you're heavily involved in the Penrith and Nepean Mini Trotting Club. What's your role there, and how many members are in the club?
So I'm the president of the club at the moment. I've had that role for 3 seasons now. I've got my young 10-year-old godson who's sort of getting involved with the ponies, and he loves coming over and spending time with me. So it's just something that we could do together to have him involved with that. So we've got about, I think, probably 8 or 9 kids in the club at the moment. We're only a little club, and it is hard these days to find people that you can sort of recruit to join the mini trots. It's very hard for anyone to be owning property and have the space for it to work a pony out in Western Sydney anymore. So it's a bit of a battle, but we try and keep the kids that we've got and bring them through, and hopefully that's where we're going to get our next generation of harness racing participants from.
And for anyone that is wanting to get involved in the Mini Trot Club out there at Penrith, is the best way for them to contact you through the Facebook page?
Yeah, absolutely. We've both got a club Facebook page or my personal one direct, or anyone else that they know who's involved. By all means, reach out to us, and we'd love to have anyone who's going to give it a go.
Looking at your career as a whole, is there a highlight in harness racing that stands out above the rest for you?
Yeah, probably. Probably not. Probably. Definitely Miracle Mile for me. Being in a massive race like that, it's just such a well-known and prestigious race, and on our home track too. It was just a really exciting week for us to, essentially, I'm a hobbyist trainer, and to get a horse that was good enough to qualify into that and earn his place and, go out there and race in the biggest night was really exciting.
That horse, of course, that we're talking about is Loyalist, and we'll talk about him in just a moment because he's one of your engagements on Saturday night. But the first horse that I want to talk about, he's come up with Barrier 1 in race 2 here. Josh Gallagher is set to take the reins, and he's a horse that's new to your stable. He's owned by yourself and Seedon, and I'm talking of Helluva. How is he leading into this event?
Yeah, look, he's really good. He's a horse that has raced at the highest level down in Victoria for much of his career, and he was in a good stable down there with John Justice. And we haven't had him too long, but he was sent up in great condition. So we're pretty much able to start him straight away. He had one trial at Penrith last week leading into this, but his work has been really sharp. So, it's a good test for him on Saturday night just to find out exactly how good he is. There's a few handy horses in this race, but we're certainly excited to see what he can do, especially from the pole draw.
He certainly was impressive in that trial out there at Penrith, 152 over the 1720 metres there. And how did the opportunity come about to purchase him?
He was sent to us just by one of the agents that we've worked with before in buying horses. I think the old owners are using the same agents, and his form had just tapered a little bit down to Victoria. They told us there's nothing wrong with him. They just think he's just going a little bit stale in that environment. He'd been there for some years now, so he was looking for a change, and the old owners were looking to move him on and go to their next horse. So he was offered to us at a pretty cheap price, really. So we thought we may as well give him a go for a 7-year-old that's capable of racing at the top level. And so far he's really impressed us with what he's done.
Your other horse in race 2 is, of course, Loyalist, or Leo, as he's affectionately known around the stable. He's had 2 starts back this preparation after 11 months away from the track. How good is it to have your stable star back at the races?
Yeah, it's been really exciting for me. He's obviously he's my favourite. To have him back on track is good. He's had some soundness issues just with his joints, unfortunately. And look, he's had that for quite some time, so we've sort of had to manage it over the last couple of years, but it did get the better of him at the back end of last year. So we had to give him a long break just to let him heal up again. And so far so good this time in. It's not easy getting back to the races at the level he's at, but his first 2 starts I've been pretty happy with. His sexual times on the clock have been good. So, this is probably a more suitable race that he's found this time in, and he's third up. So I'm sort of pretty keen to see what he can do off the back of genuine tempo in this race. I think he's probably ready to start putting himself in the frame at the back end if the right race does pan out for him.
You mentioned that your career highlight was contesting that Miracle Mile with him back in 2024, but he also took you to a Nullarbor, a WA Pacing Cup over there in the West, and his biggest win came in the Redcliffe Gold Cup back there in 2023. What does he mean to you? Because he's certainly taken you on an incredible ride.
Yeah, he's been a super little horse. He's just a real cool dude to have around as well. So, to have the opportunity to sort of travel around the country and race in all these nice races and just have that horse that, is a real companion with you when you're doing it. Excuse me, no, it's been really cool. It's been good for me. It's been good for Seaton, and we've made some real friends and some real connections around the country doing it as well. So it's sort of that's the side that you don't factor in when you dream about these horses. You don't realise sort of how much the social side of it comes with it, and you make friends all around the country just because of one horse. So that's really cool.
Joel, it's been great to have you on the Menangle Angle today. Thank you so much for joining us, and we wish you the best of luck with your 2 runners this Saturday night here at Club Menangle.
Terrific. Thanks, Jess. Appreciate it.
Gamble responsibly. Chances are you're about to lose. For free and confidential support, call 1-800-858-858 or visit gamblinghelponline.org.au. Well, another Joe. It's Joe Rando. How are you today?
Good, Jess. Good morning. Good morning, David.
Morning, Joey. Morning, Mrs. Rando. I know you'll be very close to him because he can't go too far without you.
Hello, Mary.
He gets lost very easily, so
Hello,
you need to be there.
Well, you've both qualified 2 horses for this Saturday night's Trotters Carousel final. Both must be over the moon to have 2 runners in that event.
Yeah, wrapped. Absolutely wrapped to have the 2 boys there. 2 different horses, but I think they'll go quite well.
The Carousel Series, it's obviously a time-honoured event here in New South Wales, especially in the metropolitan region. Do you have a favourite memory of that series, whether it be from the Pacers or Trotters?
There's so many. There's been some really good horses that have won it. It's just hard enough to win a heat than get into the race. We've won Pacers heats over the years, but never won a final. We've come close to winning the Trotters final last year. I think Satin Stride run third for us, second or third, I can't quite remember. But yeah, it's a race that I've always wanted to win.
Well, you definitely get your chance this Saturday night, mate. Both horses are going really well. In particular, Familiar Tricks. He is jet propelled at the moment, 3 consecutive wins, and he's just really suited to this series, hasn't he? He's come into it really well rated.
Yeah, he's. I've sort of held him back. We decided not to push him for Saturday nights just yet. That's another big step up. But we just thought this was a nice series for him to blood him into those Saturday night races. He can run a quick mile and he can run a quick 2300. He's got the gate speed. He's actually doing everything right at the moment. Touch wood. And Cam's really impressed with him at the moment. Yeah, of course.
Mate, well, just tell us a little bit about his journey with this horse, because he had one start as a 3-year-old, then had almost 11 months away from the track. Can you give us a little bit of a background with him? What happened?
Yeah.
And where he's come from?
Yeah, he's raced, had the one start as a 3-year-old, and then we turned him out. He just wanted to run over. He just wanted to get everything done really quick. And he wanted to run over whoever or whatever was in front of him in track work. And it just took forever to get him to go. And then we brought him back as a 4-year-old, and I think he had 4 or 5 runs. And he won the foundation final. And the week before, a lot of the owners were sort of not real keen on him anymore until he won that race. And then we gave him another start. Then we decided to turn him out for another 6 months. We gave him a 6-month break down in Marulan with Dean Atkinson. And he come back after that, and ever since his form's been terrific. He's not wanting to charge anymore and do stupid things. The worst thing that he does at the moment is when he gets to the mobile and he's in front, he looks at it every time. That's the worst thing. At least he's trotting past it, but he just has a big balk at it every time he goes past the mobile when it's parked on the outside of the track.
Joe, tell us about his ownership group and how they came to be in this horse.
I've trained for these guys for quite a while, Greg Williams and Jeff Williams and their partners. Charlie Britton and his wife owned a share in a trotter that we had a while ago, Conan Bridge, and he was keen to go into another one. And Frank Caroma, his mum and dad had a horse with us 25 years ago, and I cannot remember the name of the horse. But we decided to go and form a partnership with these people, and we went to Victoria, brought him for 40,000 at the yearling sales. He was actually our second pick. Our first pick was a horse called the Locomotive. You might know him.
Okay. I think he brought a fair bit more money too, didn't he?
He went to 80. I'm pretty sure he went up to 80. I think we pulled up at 60 for him. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
So,
you've certainly got a good eye, put it that way.
Yeah.
thank you. That's Mary's eye. Mary's eye.
Of course. She's always had a good eye,
Yeah.
Mary.
Yes.
And your other runner in the Trotters Carousel is Addictive Stride. Now, he's drawn 12. He's on an outside draw mobile. How is he heading into this event?
Really good, actually. He went home for a break, and then we got him back. He's coming along really, really well this time. He just needed a good long break. He's showing a fair bit of speed. We're not pushing him out of the gate at all. Bailey's just letting him settle in and run on. Like he's a 45 going up against the horses that are up to 75.
He's a maiden.
You know, in his national, he's a maiden. He's a non-winner. But I think he can be right there with him at the finish.
Yeah, he's really well bred too, mate. And you're not certain lacking anything with your drive-ins because you got Menangle's own Cameron Hart, where if you go to the Menangle Facebook page, you'll see a song that's been dedicated to Cameron. It's a fantastic, fantastic viewing on our Facebook page, that song with Cameron Hart. Jeez, it's good. Just put that together yesterday. It's amazing. And
I want to know who the singer is then.
It's just, you got to watch it. But it's really, really good. I really enjoyed watching that. And you've also, Bailey McDonald's driving fantastic as well.
Oh, both boys are in great form, David. Yes, they're in great form. Like, Cam's come off 6 winners the other night, and he's actually, out of all the heats of the Carousel, he's driven 5 winners, with the Trotters. Right. And who does that? Cam Hart. And Bailey, he's just winning race after race at the moment. So, the boys, they're doing a really good job.
Joe, how many horses have you got in the team at the moment?
With 8. 8 at the moment, yes.
And based up there at the Menangle Park Training Centre?
Up at the centre next to Michael and Ian Stanley, and, having a great time up there.
Well, I'll ask you, Joey and Mary, you accidentally, well, I shouldn't say accidentally, you come across it by chance, didn't you? Because, correct me if I'm wrong, it was when the floods hit out there, your place was severely affected where you were, and you come to the training centre and you haven't left.
Yes. No, we were supposed to come for about 5 or 6 weeks, maybe, a little bit longer, and it's been over 3 years. We just didn't go home.
You found a new home out here.
Well, being someone that grew up in your own property and like your dad before you, like having your own property, how's it now that you come to a training centre where basically everything's done for you?
Well, it's completely different, where I'd spend 4 hours on the track every day, getting it ready in the morning, and during the day when you'd fast work 4 or 5 and get it done again for the next couple, and then at night do it again, and then at the end of the day you're on the mower or you're fixing fences, or there's always something to do on the farm. Where here we can concentrate more on the horses. The tracks have been absolutely terrific. I've worked on the main track this morning with a pacer, and he worked quite well. It was beautiful. Yeah, love it.
That's good. That brown paper bag will be up there this afternoon.
Things the racing manager wants to hear.
Do you think Jimmy and Owie will look after me after that wrap?
I'm pretty sure they will. You'll get priority.
Joe and Mary, it's been great to speak with you both today. Thank you for joining us on the Menangle Angle, and we wish you the best of luck with Familiar Tricks and Addictive Stride in the Trotters Carousel final.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks. See yous.
Gamble responsibly. Chances are you're about to lose. For free and confidential support, call 1-800-858-858 or visit gamblinghelponline.org.au. Well, Wonno, as we spoke about, the 2 Carousel finals, the Pacers final is set to get underway at 7:57pm. It's race 5 on the card, and Jason Grimson trained 3 of the heat winners there. The other heat was taken out by Chris Judd, trained out at William there. But the barrier draw has really opened this up, hasn't it, Wonno? Yeah,
look, I think when we done the post-race the other day, we called him Mr. Carousel, Jason Grimson, like he was dominating. What was really important, that's I was on the morning line on Sky this morning, and I've gone Our Sweet Delight. Straight after one of those races, we said to Jason, mate, are you going to discuss who drives who this week? He goes, no, Cameron will be driving Our Sweet Delight. I went, okay, that's good enough for me. So you can imagine if Tommy Berry had 4 horses in the one race at Randwick and he decided to ride this one, I'm sure all the punters would lean that way. I think it's the same with this. Like, you've got to lean towards the one he's chosen because he had the choice of 4, and this is the one he's gone, Cameron Hart. So, yeah, barrier draw evens it up. I think it's about $2.80 at the moment, Our Sweet Delight. So it's a nice even betting field, and there's a lot of up-and-coming horses. So, and they lose nothing. Jason's other horses, Tupikaloo, Will Rickson, Mickey Cohen, Josh Gallagher, they lose nothing with those drivers anyway. So, it'll be a fantastic race.
And then the Trotters Carousel Finalists, race 7 on the card at 8:51. Fonda Ronda, she won one of the heats. She's come up with barrier 2 there for Ian and Michael Stanley, a winner of her last 3. And Familiar Tricks, he was the other heat winner. He's also won his last 3 starts. He's drawn wider out there in barrier 9 for Joe and Mary, who we just heard from. Cameron Hart, he's set to take the drive as well here.
Yeah, look, it looks like a match race. Both those horses have got some picket fences there. Both won their last 3. And that's the way the betting will probably end up. There's a couple that can maybe shake him a little. Jungle Eyes is going really, really good. Affair to Cover, he shows up every now and then at good odds. But, yeah, it looks like it's a match race between the Stanley horse and the Rando horse there, Fonda Ronda and Familiar Tricks. I'm slightly leaning towards number 9, Familiar Tricks.
Well, there you go. You've just lent into Familiar Tricks there. Who is your best bet on the card?
He is my best bet.
He is your best bet. There you go. Well, that was a great segue into this segment.
Speaking to the Randos, very, very confident. A bit of a journey, this horse, but the way he's trotting at the moment, there's just no stopping him. He's racing full of confidence, and confidence is such a big thing with the Trotters. And it doesn't hurt having Cameron Hart on either, does it?
Not at all, not after the last few weeks here at Club Menangle. My best bet comes up in race 3, and I've gone the way of Sao Paulo Simba for Michael Stanley. Of course, we saw him here last time break the Australasian record for 3-year-old paces over the mile. And I think if he brings that form again here, he can definitely be winning this national rating up to 80. Wano, who's your next best?
I'm going to show some chivalry here, Jess, because I've had a sneaky peek at your sheet. So you can go your next best first.
Oh, are they in the same race, or are we going to be sharing them?
Well, that's why I'm showing some chivalry.
That's so nice of you, ladies before gentlemen.
It is, well, I'm letting you go.
My next best comes up in race 1, and that's number 7, Raka Jed for Jamie Kirk and Taylor Yule. This horse, he started last Saturday night in the Sutton Macmillan free-for-all. He finished a very, very nice third to Hi, My Name is Jeff. He was only beaten by 5.1 metres. He's lining up in a 95 here after racing in that free-for-all grade last week. And I think over the 2,300 metres, if there's a bit of speed on early, he'll definitely be running into this.
I like Raka Jed too. He's my next best. So, yeah, I think you've spotted that really well, especially that third last week when what was a really, really good, strong 2,300 metre race. I think it's, correct me if I'm wrong, I think it's 2,300 again this week.
It is, yeah.
And he has a second in a free-for-all down at Milton. So, yeah, he's probably my next best.
Who's your value then?
Yeah, I'm going a bit different. I know this sounds not the way I usually go with them, but race 8, number 8, Dangerous Threats. Mm-hmm. This horse, at his best, can run some very, very smart times.
He's broken the 150 mark here before, hasn't he?
Yep, and it's an even field, but it's not an outstanding field. They're nice horses, but I just think he's due for a little bit of luck in his races, and I think he's got the right field this week. So I think he'll be a bit of value from barrier 8. So we need a Kerry-Ann Morris special. Look for that Robbie Morris sprint lane, Dangerous Threats at a bit of odds.
Dangerous Threats for 101. My value play also comes up in the same race, so you can tell we haven't spoken again, but I've gone the way of race 8, number 1, Sahara Sirocco for Trevor Monday and Josh Gallagher.
Quinella.
He's on the back up from Monday here. He sat outside the leader for the duration of that event. He Rocco from barrier 1 there to be in the finish at a bit of value.
It's a challenge. I like
it'll
challenge.
Be on. We'll be waiting to the last to see who gets.
Quinella. Pay anything.
Gamble responsibly. Chances are you're about to lose. For free and confidential support, call 1-800-858-858 or visit gamblinghelponline.org.au. Well, Wano, as we spoke about earlier on, or we touched on earlier on, Cameron Hart, 6 driving wins here at the Club Menangle track last Saturday night. He equalled Luke and Todd McCarthy, who have both achieved the 6 driving wins on a Metropolitan card. And it was just an incredible achievement, especially given that he took out the full heats of the Pacers Carousel.
Yeah, unprecedented. I've never seen that happen before. And, the big thing too, it was 3 different stables he drove the winners for. So it wasn't just, a trainer, one certain team dominating. He was driving. And I know he wouldn't have liked to have got the 6th one the way he did get the 6th one, but that's racing. So he got it under protest for DJ. I think it was our Sadie Katie.
Yeah.
So, not the way he would have got it, but he did get it because she was going to win that race when she copped a little bit of an interference halfway up the straight. So, just an amazing night. And, a lot of people proud, none more so than probably his mum and dad and his sister at the moment, of what he's been able to achieve the last couple of weeks. So, couldn't have gone to a nicer guy.
Absolutely, and I know that there was a video posted on the Club Menangle social channels or Facebook page earlier this morning that was congratulating Cam on behalf of the board of directors. And as we leave you on today's The Menangle Angle, we're going to play the song that accompanied that video. So congratulations, Cam, and we'll see everyone here on track on Saturday night for the 2 Carousel finals.
Superstars abound. Robbie Morris, Rickson, Cool Hand, Lukey can be found. But Sydney Harness has the man whose praises we all sing. He drove 6 winners in one night. We've crowned our latest king. He's the king of Club Menangle. He's MacArthur's favorite son. He gets them off the gate quick, smart, that's where his race is won. His blue and yellow racing silk spear over at the start. He loves to lead from goal to woe. His name is Cameron Hart. He's won the Kiwi's biggest cup, the Interdom, the mile. He claimed the Tab Eureka with his trademark steering style. He's from the bush down Junie way. He's Grimo's driving choice. He's the monarch of Menangle. Let's acclaim him with one voice.